Hey guys, it's Vornskyr here, and today we're back in Elite Dangerous, and I am going to take a look at using the Lakon Type-6, which is of course a cargo ship, as an exploration ship. So you can see I've already got the loadout completely finished here basically. And we'll start over here. There's absolutely nothing in any of these hardpoints. This is not a viable combat ship at all, and so there's no point even using weapons really, and it lowers your jump range and everything. So personally I think there's no point at all having weapons. And the idea of exploration, especially once you're out beyond the reaches of civilization, is that there's nobody else out there anyway, so you don't really have too much concern about being attacked. But so what have we got? You can see we've got a 28.63 light year jump range. That's unladen, or 23.9 laden. This does have 40 tons of cargo capacity. You can see I've got my cargo racks here. I kept the cargo racks in because you don't gain anything by removing them basically. You can see they don't actually weigh anything, they don't take any power, so you might as well leave them in there. You might never use them while you're exploring, but hey, at least you've got the option. So those are probably the two main things, but let's start at the top and work the way down. We've got lightweight alloy, which weighs nothing. We're using a D class power plant. In fact, you'll notice almost all of these components are D class for the most part, and that's because the Lakon Type-6 loves the D. Or maybe it's actually because D class just weighs less. So we have a look here. Let's see, do we have other threes? Well, you can see, yeah, you can see basically C, B, and A all weigh more than the D. Like the D weighs 2 tons, and these go up, 2.5, 4, 2.5. I think E weighs a bit more as well. Yeah, E weighs 5 tons. So basically D-class components just weigh less, like they have less mass. So that's why we're using those. So D-class thrusters, and A-class frameshift drive, of course. This is fairly expensive. I don't even know if they sell one at this station. Yeah, 1.6 million credits, it's not cheap. I think this entire loadout costs around 4.5 to 5 million credits, including the value of the Lakon Type-6. So it's cheaper than an ASP, basically, which is kind of the whole intent of doing this, like the whole point of doing this. So anyway, we keep going down. We've got D-class, G-class. The fuel tank, we'll just leave that at capacity 16. And then we've got a fuel scoop. You're going to want a fuel scoop, right? Once you get out far enough, there won't be any more stations, and you'll be reliant entirely on the fuel scoop for your fuel, because obviously there's no distress beacon or anything anymore. You can't get the fuel any other way. So yeah, a fuel scoop is required. It doesn't need to be a class 5 rating C or rating A or whatever, but this makes it easier. It makes it faster to scoop the fuel. Otherwise you'd just be sitting there forever, and who really wants to do that? So, I mean, you can get cheaper. This one costs about 500,000 credits. I think a D class is 170,000 or something. Again, fuel scoops don't weigh anything, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's just this is all just about reducing the amount of time spent refueling, really. As long as you've got one, that's the most important thing. Shield generator, you probably don't really need it, and in fact removing it would increase the jump range slightly, not by much, but it would slightly increase the jump range. I've got it on there for peace of mind more than anything else. I probably won't be leaving the civilized areas, so you've still got the chance of being interdicted or running into players or whatever. A bit of shield capacity, I mean, even if it costs you a full light year, and I don't think it makes that much of a difference, I think that's worth having, especially in the more civilized areas. Once you go beyond that, you may not need it, but anyway, I think it's probably worth having. Already talked about the cargo racks, and these are the other important things: the detailed surface scanner and the advanced discovery scanner. The advanced discovery scanner is one of the most expensive things you can buy, at least when you're in these size ships. Obviously things get more expensive the larger you get, but this costs 1.5 million credits. But the thing about this is that it will scan absolutely everything in a system. So the way it scales is basically the basic discovery scanner can scan anything within 500 light seconds, or detect anything within 500 light seconds. The intermediate discovery scanner is within 1,000 light seconds, and the advanced is the entire system. And I don't know what happened there. But yeah, so this one just makes the most sense to have. I mean, when you've got those things that are like, 200,000 light seconds away, you don't want to, be flying out there not even knowing if there's anything out there with the intermediate. So I think the advanced is a necessity basically if you've got the credits for it. The detailed surface scanner, it's just when you scan a planet or whatever, it gives you a bit more information, and I guess that sells for more credits. So yeah, that is the loadout. So if I actually go into the shipyard, and you can see if we go purchase this Anaconda, even though I don't have any credits, You can see the parts exchange is 4.3 million. I think this takes off about 10% of the value when you trade in. So even if we say 4.8 million credits, I mean, that's still obviously cheaper than 5 million. Now, if we have a look at an ASP, going, oops, went past it. We have a look at the ASP here. This is worth 6.6 million just for the ship. You would probably want at least another 4 million credits just to upgrade it, and possibly more. I'm not sure how much the thrusters, or not thrusters, but the frameshift drive and everything costs for this ship. But yeah, I'd say you'd probably want 10 million at least to actually be able to use this as an exploration ship. So that's good. And if we go to Universal Cartographics, you'll see I actually scanned these systems earlier. This one, I didn't detail scan everything. In fact, I didn't detail scan anything. But this one had about 39 planets or something, so it's worth a fair bit of credits. This one, I did detail scan everything. It's not really worth much though. So I don't know. I don't think it was a very good system. I think certain systems are worth more than others. Like this one had all icy planets, and I think systems with like habitable planets or whatever might be worth a bit more. I'm not quite sure how that works. And of course, if it's already been scanned by somebody else, I think it's worth less credits. So if you're the first person to scan something, I think it's worth more then. But anyway, wow, that's enough talking about the loadout. Let's actually go and try to find somewhere undiscovered. Well, I say undiscovered, somewhere that I haven't been. Okay, so I've set a route to a system about 80 light years away. It's not one that I've been to before, so hopefully we'll see some new stuff along the way. Although given I'll be jumping nearly what, 30 light years probably, it probably won't actually take that long to get there. Hopefully there will be something undiscovered along the way. I mean, the problem is that I'm actually fairly deep within civilized space at the moment. I'm around the Empire sort of area, so I'd probably have a fair way to travel to actually find proper undiscovered stuff. I mean, that's kind of the problem with exploration when you think about it, because there's no way of, transporting, changing between your ships when you're away from them, or bringing them to you or anything like that. Apparently there's something that might be added in the future, but for now we can't do it. And that means when you're 1,000 light years away in your exploration ship, and you want to do a bit of combat, or you want to do a bit of trading or something, you can't unless you travel 1,000 light years back to where your other ships are stored. And that means for to be kind of a part-time explorer, it's not really possible not to do it in that sort of way, like where you're actually going out beyond the reaches of the civilization. So it's a bit unfortunate, really. Hopefully in the future that might change a little. But for the time being, that sort of stuff, I guess, is limited for those who want to be full-time explorers. But anyway, let's carry on to wherever it is that we're going, and we'll see if we can get a bit of stuff. So, I'll actually run my scanner here. I don't know if there's anything to find, but can't hurt.
Fuel scooping.
Alright, so we've discovered some astronomical objects. So let's target this star and then we'll actually give it a bit of a scan. Just get a bit of distance from it and come back around. So to get a detailed scan, it's just like scanning a normal undiscovered planet or whatever. You just got to turn around, be within range and aim at it, and the rest will do the work. So the detailed discovery scanner, it's not actually, or detailed surface scanner I think it's called, it's not an active thing, so it doesn't have to be bound to a fly group or anything. And you can see once you've actually finished scanning, it will come up in the top right corner and it'll say detailed scan complete. So that's good. And I guess I could scan the rest of these as well, although some of them are a fair way away. I mean, fully scanning systems can take, half an hour, so I'm not going to do this whole thing right now, because that will just take too long. And I'm more interested in actually getting to a station and seeing what this stuff trades for. I'm willing to bet that it won't go for very much, given that it's just an anarchy system. There's no stations or anything in here. And yeah, I'm not sure how much these planets are actually worth either, like if they're decent planets or anything like that. So let's get within range. And not there yet. There we go. It seems to vary, I guess, depending on the size of the planet or something, how far away from it you need to be to actually scan it properly. So we just wait for this to finish. Is there anything else close by? Not really, that one's 630 light seconds away. Right, there we go, so that's a rocky ice planet. What a wonderful place to be. And where is the rest of my route? Can't find it. Alright, so we'll give this a scan as well, given that it's undiscovered, and I can scoop from this star, which is good because I need a bit of fuel. Oh, 35 objects. This one is going to be worth a little bit. Not even going to try and scan all of those. Might just pull away from that a little bit. Don't want my heat to get too high. I mean, the heat can get up to 150% before you start taking damage, but there's no point really risking it. And this thing is scooping pretty quickly anyway. So there we go, that's more than half a tank now. So what's my next jump? I've got no idea. Because I have actually lost my route, so I'll just have to figure out where I'm going. Okay, so we've travelled a bit over 80 light years. We've scanned a few systems, we've got some cool information. So let's actually dock at this station and we'll see how many credits we get from it. I wouldn't expect to get very much if I'm honest. I only did a couple of detailed scans, and I think there might have only been 2 systems I think actually that had you know, new stuff to discover. But we should be far enough away from the last one, so that'll be fine, because obviously you have to be 20 light years away from the system to be able to sell that system's information. This one was bang on that 20 light year mark basically. So let's come in here and dock down. I'm going way too fast. Having shields again, that makes me overconfident. I've been flying this Type-6 around for so long. Oops, yeah, straight past. I've been flying this around for so long without shields, and of course, when I don't have shields I'm always super careful. But as soon as the shields go back on, I'm just flying around like crazy. Anyway, didn't take too much extra time. Bang. Alright, let us check out Universal Cartographics. So yeah, not even 10,000 for both of the systems. I mean, it's something that to get a lot of money from exploring, I think you need to be out there like way far away, and you need to do a lot of it. Like, you need to have scanned a lot of systems. Even if you don't detail scan everything, you need to have just gone, you know, system after system after system, and just have all of that information to sell. But anyway, it's a pretty cool setup. It actually works really well. I mean, you'll basically, whenever you hear somebody talking about exploring, they'll talk about the ASP. Oh, there's a clipper there. They'll talk about the ASP as being the ship to go to. Like, this is the go-to exploration ship. But I mean, the 6.6 million credits just for the initial purchase, and then the extra credits for fitting it out, and that's not cheap. You know, this as I've already said, this Type-6 setup is it's about half the price, I'd say, and it could even be more than 10 million to make a decent exploration setup in the ASP. I haven't really checked that, but it could, like, the 5 million for this Lakon Type-6, I think is pretty reasonable. I mean, 5 million credits, it sounds like a lot, but actually it's not that much in this game, especially once you've figured out how to start making the credits. You know, you can get a couple million pretty easily in a few hours by trading or whatever, once you're up at the Type-6 level anyway. So yeah, it's not the cheapest setup, but I think apart from the ASP, it may be the most effective. And see, my rank has gone up a little bit there. My Explorer rank hasn't, but I actually meant reputation. I'm getting my words mixed up. But yeah, so I think I'll end this one here. So it's pretty cool. The Lakon Type-6 is definitely worth thinking about if you're thinking of doing a dedicated exploration setup. But yeah, so until next time, I've been Vornskyr. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.